how do these politicians allow this to happen? They get up on the screen. They're sworn politicians. You know, they are sworn into office. They're supposed to do their job for their constituents. They're getting in trouble. And then I found out that the majority of the individuals, and I say majority, it's probably more like all of them, are using a pseudonym. Well, at first I thought, okay, security reasons. I can understand that. If you got a family, fine, whatever. But then when I started researching it more, and I found out that, and we'll say like Jesse Ventura, he admits that that's not his real name. He openly admits it. It's not even registered to his person. That name he made up. He doesn't even live in this country. So you have a person that was a governor of a state signing official documents with a fake name that's not even registered to anybody. Now, if you can't see the problem in that, because you can't hold somebody accountable if you don't know who they are, especially if that person lives out of the country. So I went to my lawyer and I said, okay, well, what's the deal with this? You know, is this real? Is this, am what I'm seeing, is this legitimate? And he said, yeah. And I said, so you don't think that there's something wrong with that? And he said, it's not my point to think about that. I represent my client. If you want the law changed, go change the law. So that's basically what it boils down to. Now, that doesn't stop them from being judged in the court of public opinion. And that's what I'm trying to wake people up and make them aware of who these individuals are that are behind all these events that we see. Now, the interesting thing about my case was I sat behind an individual that had their case scheduled right after mine, and that was Tom DeLay. He was, of course, on charges for money laundering and, I believe, misappropriation or whatnot. So there's a politician sitting there, and he's up on charges. Is it real? I mean, is it just playing the game? Is he an actor? I have my suspicions about it, but yet, you know, here's the problem. Even if it was real, even if he was up on real charges and could go to jail, if he were found guilty, the fact that he could be a pseudonym means that he could stage his death and walk out the back door, and you would be none the wiser. So you see that even if there is a real chance of them being held accountable, as long as that loophole is there in place, there's not a damn thing that you can do to hold them accountable. Jesse Ventura is over there surfing off the coast of Mexico, enjoying it. Now, I'm not saying he did anything wrong when he was in office. I don't know. I'm just saying the possibility is there. And if the possibility is there, you know for a fact that there will be individuals that will abuse it and that are abusing it. So we just have to keep that in mind when you are thinking about doing things to try to get laws changed, because that law that you think that you're changing for the better is undermined by that loophole. Unless we can figure out a way to petition our politicians, and like I said, we know they're fake, so they're not going to react, but that's what the key is to this. Their reaction, and to do nothing about it, is key that we can use to leverage them, to let them know that the next person that steps in that position is going to be exposed to either support this change, this loophole, because it's a bipartisan loophole. It affects all of us. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. If you don't know who you're voting for, if that person is an actor that's funded by, say, a foreign entity, a country or a corporation, which is very possible, it's very likely, because of the fact that the campaign finance laws that we have, we think that they're in place to stop individuals from funding that person. Well, they can fund it if it's an actor. There's no way to hold them accountable. So the loophole that allows it to happen is a security threat to not just this nation, but every nation that I believe that's in the NATO alliance. Foreign-speaking nations, we see it happening in Japan, we see it happening, of course, in Australia, we see it happening in the UK. So we know that these people are doing it, and they're doing it legally, so how do we stop it? Well, that pseudonym loophole, I think, is going to be key.